Hi guys, Cheating Fire here. We got a special guest today. This is my daughter, Little Miss Fire.
Yeah.
In today's video, we're going to talk to you about how we cheated in the month of January.
Uh-oh.
And that is to say, the expenses that we could have quite easily done without and really don't line up with the goals of this channel. So what we've done is we've quantified those expenses and added them up. So not only will you get to see the fat that we spent in January, but you also get to see the growth of the account that we would have put it in and how that grows month to month and how that money could have grown in the future as well.
Yay.
So what's the motivation here? Well, in 2018 we spent approximately $33,750.
Whoa.
Now that number included all our expenses in totality except for our charitable giving. Now part of the purpose of this channel is showing that you can live decently comfortably off of $25,000 a year.
Yeah.
So what that means is we have to come up with about just over $8,000 of fat to cut this year and to identify as that kind of extra expenses that we could have done without. And hopefully in this process of identification, we also reduce our own expenditures for the next year as well. So in 2019, we hope to see a value under that $33,000.
Yes.
Thank you. So what's the background of the investment account that we chose? Well, this account is in a tax advantage bucket.
Yay.
And essentially the details of this account is that we pay the taxes prior to the money going in. So what that means is as we come to retirement and we need to take this money out, we're not going to have to pay any taxes on this money or even the growth of this money.
Yay.
Now, we selected this investment account to represent these purposes because there's some availability of more funds that we can put in before it maxes out every year. So this tax advantage account is invested in index funds, and that index fund represents a large stock capture of the market. So how much did this account minus contributions grow in the month of January? Well, this account grew by 8.15%, and that's in 1 month.
Yay.
Now, disclaimer here, this is not normal growth. Back in December, November of last year, there was some market volatility and the market had gone down. So that means in January and February, we could see some nice growth. And ultimately, that's where that 8% growth came from. So in what areas did we cheat fire? Well, in this month, we cheated fire in the area of food, housing, kind of a miscellaneous category, as well as education. So in food, we spent an extra $100 on going out to eat, coffee, just kind of convenience foods as we're on the road. For our house, we spent $275 for furniture that we really already had the functionality for. We did gain some functionality, but in the end we ended up with some nice furniture piece, but ultimately this is something we didn't need. In our miscellaneous category, we spent about $60 on things such as utilities and kind of things around the supermarket. So what about education? Well, we spent $2,168 on education in the month of January, and that was for college education. Now I put this expense in a cheating fire category. When looking at this at a cheating fire perspective, the cost of this education is something that may never really pay for itself, and the benefit of the work that you could obtain in this area is something that you could pursue without that education. So this is something we'll look into more in detail in the future of when is college worth it, when is it not. We see for other reasons this education is valuable for us in our situation, but from the financial perspective, the numbers may not add up. So by how much did we cheat in the month of January? We cheated by $2,606 in the month of January. So throughout this year, you'll get to see the growth of that account, the potential that this money could have grown had it been invested. You'll see when we could have hit our financial independence number versus when we actually do. So my hope is by watching this video, you'll begin to understand maybe that extra cup of coffee, going out to eat those few times in a month, how much they can truly cost, not only as a sum total in a year, but as investment potential. And really what it costs in the long run as far as time that you have to stay maybe in the workforce, because ultimately you're not financially independent. Now if you like this video, or perhaps you enjoyed meeting our daughter, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yay. Yeah. Yay. Whoa.